Welcome back, folks. It's Bunker Wednesday indeed. Oh yeah. On Bunker Wednesday this week, folks, we're on the hunt for some of London's last remaining air raid sirens. Silent essentials of a forgotten time. Right, so, yeah. I started investigating the air raid sirens and stuff like that in London area. There's a few. There's a couple in central London, which are the ones you're about to see in a bit. There's ones on the outskirts, you know, further afield from London. There's one I didn't see because it was a bit of a bugger to get to. But yeah, we saw two of the great ones, and we've got the information about those sirens here. So let's go through the history of these sirens that I saw. Castle Castings air raid sirens. These are Castle Castings. You know, we're going to go through some bits, the history and the technical bits and bobs. So Castle Castings Limited, based in the UK, likely Midlands or Northern England. Yeah, that's a bit of a question there, isn't it? One of the lesser known manufacturers of electric air raid sirens during the Cold War era. All right, lesser known. Castle Castings. Yeah, because you got is it Seeker Mac and the other ones. They operated from the post-World War II period into the 1970s and early 80s, producing sirens for civil defence, industrial sites and government contracts. All right. That's quite cool. There's still a lot of them about. Just got to, you know, I think a lot of them are not sort of, what do you call it, advertised, because these things are very expensive, if you know, for collectors and people like that. Make a lot of money on air raid sirens, you know, you're talking tens of thousands, some of them, you know, depends on the condition, really. So Castle Castings produced a number of three-phase electric motor driven sirens designed for rooftops and pole mountings. Okay, earlier models, 1950s and 1960s, often mounted on step bases or short concrete plinths, housed in cast aluminium or iron shells with distinctive wide barrel profiles. You know, I do love air raid sirens, you know. They are, you know, I never really gave it a thought, you know, until we'd done the interview with historic war sirens. It really opened my eyes up when I started listening to that video, and you know, James's collection. Then we went to see Paul's, and I left the video. I didn't edit it for months, and then when I started editing it back, it's like, this is quite cool, you know. And now I've got a siren. I've got two sirens, which you'll see another one in another video, folks. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? People's what do you call it, hobbies and all that stuff just progresses over time. Equipped with three-phase AC motors, typically rated between 415 volts to 440 volts. Well, that's quite powerful there, considering house 240. So this is interesting. I didn't even know this. I remember James and that saying about this. Never knew this existed. Really didn't. Some models featured a built-in heater and thermostat to prevent freezing of the components in the winter. They're still visible on surviving examples, which we'll see in a bit. Both of the ones I filmed in London, still had the heater plate still on them. Later models from the 1970s onwards, I believe, slightly more streamlined with improved weather protection. Indeed. Continue to use three-phase motors and were often installed on schools, council buildings and rooftops in strategic locations across cities like London, Birmingham and Sheffield. These sirens were often tied into the handle warning system. We'll see a video about that. If you're not seen that video, check the description, folks. Really interesting video about the Cold War in Britain, the early warning system there and the equipment. Whoa, yeah, really good. The UK's Cold War alert infrastructure designed to notify civilians of impending nuclear attack. Whoa, that sounds pretty good. Right, so let's look at the technical features of these air raid sirens. Motor type, 3-phase induction motor, approximately 5 to 7.5 horsepower, depending on the model. Tone, a single tone, approximately 400 to 500 hertz fundamental frequency. Range, around 1 to 1.5 miles in urban environments. Activation, originally, like in the World War II and all that, and probably early Cold War, very early Cold War, originally by manual switch, later by remote relay, the handle link. Yeah, so remember, check that video in the description, folks. Really interesting video if you're interested in Cold War and stuff like that in the UK and that. Brilliant. Right, so heaters. Many models had internal thermostatically, if that's said correctly, controlled heaters to ensure reliability in all weathers. Yeah, so you didn't think of it. If it's damp in the mornings, it's been raining, the rain freezes and creates the frost, and the blades of the motor freeze, and in the time of alert it doesn't work. How scary is that thought, folks? Where to find these air raid sirens today? Some Castle Casters sirens still survive across the UK. Here we go. London, Hyde Park. Seen that one. I'm going to see it in a bit, folks. Waterloo, we're going to see that one. And a few other former council buildings. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know which ones. I've got this map on Google. It tells you where they are, but not all of them are on there. Birmingham and Manchester. Often seen on older civic buildings or depots. Originally found in rural communities, particularly near ROC posts or former civil defence command centres. All right. Yeah, that's interesting stuff, and it really is. Love it. Identification tips. Look for a wide barrel-like motor housing and heavy-duty mounting brackets. That's what we're looking for, folks. Relay heater box may still be visible near the base of the mountain. Yeah, so remember, we're looking at the video in a bit, folks. Some Castle Castings nameplates, so they'd have a plaque that states all the information about the inside, what power it takes and stuff like that. But many of these are now corroded or missing. You know, people used to steal things like that, you know, souvenirs, folks. Castle Casting sirens were not mass produced like the Seeker-Mac or Carter sirens, making surviving examples rare and historically valuable to collectors and Cold War historians. Wow, well, there's your information about the sirens we're about to see, folks. So let's step in. So yeah, went to London, watched the show up there, stayed up there for a night, and I wanted to see. I investigated. I pinned a couple of sirens. You know, even if it was just one, I just wanted to see them before they get rid of them, because they're not going to last forever, are they? So first stop was Hyde Park. Got off at the tube station, or the furthest distance away from it. Didn't know that. On the maps it looks closer. So my wife weren't too happy about that, folks, when we had to walk sort of 2 miles to get to the siren in the dead heat of the British summertime, folks. It wasn't great. So we made our way into the heart of the city to locate the Cold War relic hidden in plain sight. Well, a little bit in plain sight, you know, if you know where you're looking anyway. So I reached out to James at Historic or Heritage War Sirens. Did I say it right in the other one? Don't think I did I? Sorry, James. Yeah, it's links below anyway. So Heritage War Sirens, folks. I'm sure that's what it is. I might have. Who kindly confirmed that this unit in Hyde Park was a Castle Casting siren, a later 1970s model, 3-phase, electric, a real Cold War classic. So let's have a look at these videos of the Hyde Park air raid siren, folks. Note all the ivy and all that entwined in the siren there. It's a very sad sight, to be honest, but let's check it out. So yeah, you notice the box beneath it is to do with control and thermostat, I believe. So yeah, it's quite fascinating to see that, and all those people, well, pretty much all of them, are walking past it and they don't even see it. They don't even take a first glimpse at it, and it's like, wow, there's me filming it on a camcorder. I had a little camcorder. I was filming it, and they're like, "What's he filming?" You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a nice one to see. So we ticked that one off the list. Whatever happens to that in the future, I don't know, folks. I mean, it'd be nice if it could be taken down and restored to someone who appreciates it. But at the moment, inch-size vines are going into the siren, and it's quite a disgusting. It might be damaged now. You never know. But after that, I think it was actually the next day we went to Waterloo to have a look at the air raid siren that's located on a bridge, on a railway bridge, and you can see this siren up close if you're actually on a train. Unfortunately, I didn't, and unfortunately, trains these days you can't open a window and stick your camera out, so you'd have to look through a window that's had all greasy handprints put all over it, and it's just going to be a smear. It's unfortunate. But I had the little camcorder thing that I've got, and I zoomed right in as best as I can. Got the best footage I could. At Waterloo, high above the bustling streets, another air raid siren watches silently over the crowds. Indeed it does. People, it's so busy, London, everywhere. People, boom, boom, boom. They don't even look up. And that's been there a long time. And yeah, it's Cold War, folks. So I reached out to James at Heritage War Sirens again, folks, and he said it was a 1960s Castle Castings siren, and it still had the heater elements on the front of it. You can see the cables coming off of it, and that stuff like that. So have a glimpse of this and tell me what you think you notice on this siren, because I only saw it when I got home and I was looking at the photographs. So let's look at the footage now. So what did you notice? I noticed that it's half hanging off its base. Someone's tried stealing it, basically. And someone on Facebook that I know, a friend of mine, said that a few people have tried having it off the roof. I mean, these things are really heavy. It's not something you could just pick up and put in a bag. But you can see it's moved off its base. It's slipped. I don't know if you want to go back. Well, I could put a video up now. It's slipped. So someone's tried having that off, folks. It's unfortunate. That's a lovely siren, that one. I wouldn't mind that. That's got to be worth a few £1,000s. But yeah, that's a Cold War one again. So that would have sounded in the event of a nuclear attack heading to the UK. All deactivated now. Obviously, there's only a few in London still available, but yeah, it still had the box on it, and there's a relay box. I believe there's. I don't know if I could see it on the video. I can't remember, but it's somewhere there. Yeah, but fascinating to see. You know, and I want to see that other one now. It's really clean on a pole. I think some ivy have tried getting up it, but what's with this ivy? And yeah. Well, there you go, folks. You know, leave your comments in the comment section, folks, because I want to hear what you think of all this. A huge thanks to James at Heritage War Sirens, folks. Check his YouTube channel out and his Facebook group in the description. He's got some fascinating videos and stuff like that, and he knows a lot of stuff. So if you've got any questions, ask him, folks. He will answer your questions. No problem there. He's got an incredible collection, and you know the knowledge is vast. So thanks to everyone for supporting the channel, indeed, and for those just joining, welcome aboard. This is every Wednesday I do a video like this, and usually Mondays, Fridays is an explore. We go out looking for history and exploring the history and all that stuff. But Monday just gone. It's been too hot, folks. I haven't got a lot done. So, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, folks, if you haven't already. And ring that Cold War siren for updates. That's an interesting saying there. More explores, more discoveries coming very soon, folks. So, stay tuned for that one. On that note, that's me done for another week. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.